So today we're out here, we're going to grease the drive shaft of my Land Cruiser 100 series. Picked up a new Cobalt grease gun from Lowe's. Got a can of Valvoline Extreme Red. Go ahead and get it inserted and we'll start getting it lubricated up. Alright, so this is the end where the fitting is that goes on the actual, the joints where we put the grease in. And this is the end that'll screw into the actual grease gun. Go ahead and get that in. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and unscrew the canister here. So we'll get it off of the head here where the handle is. Alright, so go ahead and pull out the bottom of the handle here to get this loaded up to be able to fit one in. Cool. Alright, next we're going to take the grease canister here. Take this plastic side, you see two sides, plastic side and a metal side. Take the plastic cap off. Go ahead and insert that in. You might need to pull this back a little more. Alright, and once you have it in, go ahead and take this plastic or the metal tab off. And some grease will come out as you do it. So just be careful. Alright, once we have that, go ahead and put our top back on. Alright, so once you got it tightened on, go ahead and loosen it about a half turn. And then you're going to hold down this, here we go. Hold down this bleeder valve right here while you go ahead and pump the plunger a couple times. And you have to keep making sure you get this loosened up if it's not going in. Keep wanting to lock on me. So keep going like this 3 or 4 times. That's just to get the air bubbles out. You keep the cap open a half turn to kind of force some of those air bubbles out and hold that bleeder valve as well. Once you do that, go ahead and screw it on. Let go of the bleeder valve. And then I like to go ahead and stick the fitting end here into a plastic bag and give it a few pumps to make sure you're getting grease like you can see here coming out. That way you know you're getting grease coming out and not air bubbles getting put into your fitting. Alright, so once we got that, we're good to go. Put that aside. Alright, so we're here on the passenger side front. I'm going to go down and locate the front drive shaft. You can see here, here's the back end of it. There's one fitting in there. And then from the front here, there's 2. So we have the one for the spline, which is right here. And we have the one for the actual U-joint, which is up in here. So I'm going to zoom in and get these filled. Alright, so what you want to do is that little knob right there is the fitting. And we'll put the end of the grease gun onto it. And you got to press it hard. You'll feel it kind of attach. You'll know if it's on there or not. And then once you think you got it on, go ahead and give it a few squeezes. You might be able to hear a little bit of grease coming out once you got it all the way. But don't get too much grease to come out, just enough to hear that little sound. And none of it should be squirting out the sides of the fitting. You should have a nice tight fitting. So I heard some there. Alright. And if you look closely, you can see right in there where some of the grease started to pop out. And that's okay. That's some old grease coming out. I just don't want to squeeze it too much and bust through any of the seals or anything. Just going to put enough to where it does that. Then we'll move on to the one up front here. Alright, so I had to move the truck up a little bit so I can get a better angle on this fitting here. Some of it was squirting out. So we'll give it another try here. You gotta make sure you have a direct, straight on angle to it. Much better. You don't want any grease squirting out as you're putting it in. No squirting. Alright, it's got a decent number of pumps there. I don't want to do too many to have it squirt the sides. So I'll go ahead and put on the other fitting. Alright, so we got the front U-joint up here. We got this spline right here, which we just did. Got this U-joint at the back of the front drive shaft. slide on back here. We have that U-joint on the front of the rear drive shaft. We have the one for the spline right here, which we did. And then all the way in the back of the drive shaft, we have the back U-joint back there. And that is how you grease your drive shaft.